Hello all and welcome back to my channel, Red Fem Diaries. Hey all! So this video that I'm about to show you guys right now, I ran across this on Facebook, and when I saw it, it absolutely, it just broke my heart. There really are no words for what you guys are about to see here, and I hate to bring this to you all's attention, but I think it's important to show this. Unfortunately, with the passing of Kevin Samuels, and a lot of you don't like Tommy Sotomayor, but he was probably one of the founders of, I don't know, what do you call it, the manosphere, what have you. He was one of the first ones to call out the behavior of a lot of women and the things that they do. He's gone off of Facebook now, so there's no voice now for men and ones that are calling out the behavior of these women. It's sad, so things are just going to get worse from here on out. So I wanted to show you this, and after it plays, I am going to give my commentary and my thoughts on this. So bear with me. It's about 4 minutes, a little over 4 minutes, almost 5. So bear with me. Here we go.
Yep, just hold it, facing for me to drop off these kids. Come on, y'all. Put the head down. It's playing yet? It's playing. Come on, y'all.
Oh boy, that might be good.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. What are you doing? Go ahead. No, he's not with Tom. Go ahead.
No, get out of the car. Get out of the car. Micah, get out of the car.
No, get off the car. Daddy got you this weekend. No, Daddy got you this weekend. Come on.
Get in the car.
No, come on. Daddy got you this weekend.
No, get in.
Get
Get the fuck Get in the car. 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 Get in the car.
Come on.
Get in the car.
No, you don't.
Get in the car. No.
No, you don't.
No.
No, you don't.
Get in the car.
No, you don't.
Get in the car.
No, you
Get in
don't.
the car.
No,
Get in the car.
don't get in the car. Don't get in the car.
Get in the car.
Do not get in the car.
Get in the car.
Do not get in the
Get
car.
your ass in the car.
Don't get in the car.
Get in the car.
Don't get in the car.
Get in the car.
What are you doing? You break.
I'll break your shit.
You break my arm.
Yeah, I'll break it.
Okay, so you got
Get in the
your
car.
camera.
Get in the car. Now. Now.
Don't get
Get
in the car. Don't get in the car, Cameron.
Get in the car.
Don't get in the car.
Get in the car.
Get off my arm. Get off my arm. They coming right back out.
Hold it. I caught the bullet.
Can you call the police, please? Thank you.
Get from over
Can
here.
you call the police? He was talking me. You
Get
see
from
that?
over here. Move.
Okay, I'm just going to take a quick pause. We still have a couple minutes left, but one of the first things I want you to notice, the little girl that was out of the car, she seemed older, possibly like a preteen, maybe teen, 12, 13, maybe 11, I'm not sure. And you hear each of the parents saying, the mom saying, get out the car, get out the car, get out the car, because supposedly, I guess this was dad's weekend, or supposedly, and the dad's like, no, get in the car, get in the car. And whether it's his weekend or not, he's not trying to take care of these kids right now. They both are demanding of the children to get in the car, get out the car, get in the car, get out the car. What's so disgusting and disturbing about this is they're both demanding of these children to do the opposite thing, both their parents. It puts these children in an absolutely horrific situation. What do? You have one parent telling you to get in, one parent telling you to get out. And the sickening part about it is, in these children's minds, all they know is that neither one of their parents wants them. Now I know the mother is trying to make her point. I'm just, speculating here, but I can imagine, she's tired. She wants maybe the father has been skipping out on his visits or weekends and she is just bringing them over and because she can't do it anymore and you can tell by the way she pulled up, camera already on, she knew there was going to be some problems with her dropping them off because maybe he has not been doing his part in watching them. And same with the father. He may have his reasons why he doesn't want to take care of the kids this week, and we don't really know that part of the story. Maybe he has work, and maybe he just does not want to take care of his kids. We do not know. But what we do know is that in these little children's minds, they have two parents that neither one of them wants them. And the mother, I do my best. You guys know I'm pretty hard on women, but I'll do my best to sympathize with her. Maybe she very well is tired and wants the father to take his turn. But here's the thing: there's no way a real mom would want to put her children through this trauma. Why in the world would you want to drop your children off somewhere where they are not wanted? At this point, these children are nothing but some pawns in this game that this couple is playing. And I'm going to keep it rolling in the next clip. Well, right before I stopped it, you'll see that the woman had her arm in the door jam so that he would not be able to open and close the kids into the car. And then she starts, screaming about how her arm's in the car. And he says, I'll break it. And as soon as he says that, she's ready to call the police. So essentially, she drove her children over into a situation that she very well knew was going to be chaotic and toxic and terrible to put her children through this trauma. If you knew, she came on there knowing that this man did not want to take care of these kids this weekend. I don't really care about the backstory. She drove up there knowing good and well he did not want to do this. So my thing as a mother, why would you put your children through this? There's no way I would be able to stand for my children to see this. Now, I'm going to make a point, but I'm going to let this play, and I'm going to make a point about co-parenting parents, but let's just let this play here.
Hey, people watching, will you see this? Thank you. Thank you.
Go. Get from over here.
Come on, y'all. Get out the car.
Get from over here.
Get out the car. Get out the car.
Come on over, Claymore. Yes, come on over.
Go.
Come on over, Claymore. Come on. Come on. Yes,
I'm not doing
Go.
anything.
Get from over here.
Thank you, see. Call the police.
Go. Get from over here.
Thank you.
Come move your hand.
He tried out the kid by the boyfriend now. He tried to put the hand in his girlfriend and he put the kid on the ground. I've left at 32nd Street by the red light. Please can you come right away? Her boyfriend tried to put the hand on her and put the kid.
Ma, I want to go home.
32nd and a red light.
Cashapp.
Get from over here. Go. Get from over here.
Yeah. All the kids cry and he put his hand on his girlfriend. I'm scared now. I'm female. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I saw the bullet right by. I see one bullet right by. I don't know. They're stopping up. Oh, they got a bullet right here now. Yeah. He come now. I'm scared. Thank you. You guys get out of the car. 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 Tell the bullet. He put your hand on your mom. Go. Come on. Come on. If you guys love your mom.
Okay.
Tell he put the guy hand on you. Go.
I want to go home.
Go. You're okay. Go over there. Go. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that's enough. Uh, so there you have it. We see this just god awful situation where, the mother and the father are trying to get the children to go with the other one, and in the midst of all their back and forth and their adult problems, they have completely forgotten about the
Yep,
children.
just hold
Oh,
it.
excuse me.
Facing for me to drop off.
Sorry about that. They've completely forgotten about the children and the trauma that they're causing them. And I want to say this because we can all look at this couple and say, oh, yeah, they're terrible, right? It's terrible that they're putting their children through this. But you guys always know what I do. I always bring up a different side. And I want to bring up something that I've started to notice. In this world system that we're in now, and you hear so many stories now about good co-parenting relationships. You'll see a couple come on, or one of the couple, and say, yes, I have a great co-parenting relationship with my ex and whatnot, and everything's wonderful and fabulous, and we're doing well co-parenting. And as and as a woman in a relationship, and relationships are difficult, marriage is a very hard thing. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And you get to the point in marriage where things become difficult. That's typical and normal for everybody in my own marriage as well. And you see these stories online, or you're scrolling through your Facebook or Instagram, and you see these people pop up here and there talking about how wonderful a relationship they have co-parenting with their child's father. She's smiling, he's smiling, everyone's happy, right? But no one ever seems to think about the children. And even the most happiest and wonderful co-parenting situation, you still have children that must be bounced around from home to home. And I just think of it like this. What if you, as an adult, you have to spend, let's say, 4 days at one home, and then things are run one way there, and the rules are one way, and then you got to pack your things up, and then you have to go to another home for 3 days, and then back to the other home for 3 days maybe, and then to the other home for 4 days, and you're back and forth. And now, as you're doing this, because these people are happy now and living their best lives co-parenting, in the time that you've gone, they've started developing other relationships. So when you go over to mom's house, mom might have a boyfriend there that she has there, and while you're there, you have to respect the rules of that house, and you go over to your father's house for the weekends, and then now he has a girlfriend, and they're thinking about marriage, and they have a baby. And so in either way, you the child is just in two different unstable situations where they are not the center, they are not the focus. In these situations of these wonderful co-parenting, quote unquote wonderful co-parenting situations, they're wonderful to the adults because the adults get some freedom, some free time every few days. Their child goes to the other parent, and so they get to be free. Well, let me explain something to you, which is very rare now, and you're in a situation where both you and your husband are married in the same home. There is no break. Okay, there is no, I'm trying to think, in the time I've had my children, I've been away from that. I've got to really count. I know we went away on a marriage retreat for like a couple days, but that was both of us gone, and my the children stayed with their nana and papa. Um, Very rare. Oh, I my children went to California to see their cousins, so that was just a few days that they're away. So I would say in all of their lifetimes, my oldest one just turned 12. I would say he's maybe spent a week's period of time away from me, but he was with family members. Um, That's not normal for parenting, for your child to go away from you every few days. Our children are in our presence every single day. And please don't have the mistake of thinking that I'm coming across like I'm perfect. What I do want you guys to understand is that marriage is not perfect. Family life is not perfect. As a matter of fact, it is one of the hardest things that you have to do. It is one of the most self sacrificing things that you will ever do. And in the times I remember in my marriage where I was having a tough time, a tough go at it, I was angry, feeling unsatisfied, feeling unhappy. And one of the worst things that you can do as a female is go to other females and to complain to them about some difficulties that you're having, because I can tell you right now, before you even go to them, what they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you that you need to worry about your own happiness. They're going to say things like, if you're not happy, then your kids can't be happy because they're going to notice that you're not happy. If you're having situation problems in your marriage, your children are going to see that and they're going to feel that. Here's another one. It's better that you separate and your children see you happy than them to see you struggling in that relationship. In any case, females typically, their advice to you is for you to leave your marriage and do your own thing so that you can have happiness. And when I was given that advice, and now mind you, I should not have ever have went to anyone outside of my marriage besides a counselor or therapist and complain about my situation. What they didn't understand, me separating from my children being away from me from any period of time was not going to cause me happiness. The answer to my marital problems was not go off and do my own thing and have my own happiness, because there is not happiness with my family broken up. There's no happiness for me there. But in this world that we live in, where it's all about self and your needs being fulfilled and you doing what you want to do, it makes absolute sense to put your children through the turmoil that these children went through. And you might say, well, my children don't go through that. Trust me, when they're being bounced around from home to home, you don't think that they think that there must be something wrong with them, that somehow they're at fault, that you all can't get along, because that's how children's minds work. We're in a world right now where there is no such thing as self-sacrifice. I thank and praise God that I did not listen to those people, because although they promised me all this happiness and greatness if I left my husband, I knew for a fact there was no happiness with my home broken. What I had to do is I had to figure out how to solve the situation in my household. And I figured out the solution was not trying to change my husband or trying to go live my best life. You know what the solution was to my situation? The solution that God gave me, was I needed to begin to humble myself. And the same way I serve my patients at my job, that some give me attitude, some give me a hard time, some of my coworkers I have a hard time with, I give them grace and patience and forgiveness. And I humble myself and I move on. And I found that that's exactly what I had to do in my household too. And I thank and praise God that I never did leave. And I threatened that before. But if you just hold on a little bit longer, you cannot change your spouse, but you can change yourself. And I learned to change myself and my behavior. I began to realize what my role in the home was. My role is to bring peace and to help my husband and to love and raise up my children. That became my focus, not my own personal pursuits and happiness. And when I fully began to dive into that role as wife and mother and as being the glue that holds our house together and keeping peace in the household, once I began to embrace that role, oh my gosh, life completely changed. There was no happiness for me with my home broken. That is a lie straight from Satan. He will tell you in a minute to break up your home so that you can go do you. You can be happy. Your children will be happier if you're happy. All of that nonsense as they're bounced back and forth from here to there. So I wanted you guys to show you this video that it is extreme in this particular case with the parents bouncing back and forth, but don't be fooled for a second that that same thing is going on. What's going on in the minds of those children, the same thing is going on in the minds of your children as they bounce back and forth from home to home, because I promise you, they're thinking in their mind, somehow they don't love me. I must not be good enough for my parents to stay together. What did I do? How did I mess up that my parents can't be together? Because that's what children do. They tend to internalize these things. So I know it's not the popular thing to say, to deny yourself, you know, to forgive your spouse, you know, sometimes let them win the fight, you know what I mean, instead of constantly coming up with some chaos and confusion. As a woman, we can absolutely bring peace and serenity into a home if we allow ourselves to do that. It's not all about you when you have a family. And that's very unpopular because we want everything to be about ourselves. But when you are a family unit, your husband, your children, that's a unit. And as it's not all about me, it's about the unit. But that's not what's being taught now. It's all about you. You go do you. Go have a hot girl summer. You deserve a break and all these sorts of things. But I tell you, the joy of my life is to be able to raise my children, and I see them every day. There's no way I can have any form of peace or happiness knowing that every few days my children have to go somewhere else and I don't know what they're doing. Can't be a part of their day. I get to see my children every day and get to tell them I love them every single day, and there's nothing better than that. There's no one out here now pushing the family, whether I mean race at this point doesn't matter, but black people suffer the most. There's no one out there now promoting the family unit and how important that is, not even to all of your mental health, your children, your own selves, but to society in general. The family unit is the backbone of any successful society. Okay, I think my recording may have stopped earlier than I anticipated, but what I was saying before is that the family unit is the backbone of any successful society, community, any nation. That family unit, mother, a father, mother, children, is of the utmost importance. It's not just for individual members of the family, but for the community, for the country, everything. And that's why Satan is trying so desperately hard to break up that family unit, the man over that household. That's why they're trying so hard to emasculate the man and to take him out of his role, because they know that once you do that, society begins to decay, and we can see that clearly with our own eyes, the decay of a nation, simply because that family unit has been broken. This is why they push the homosexual agenda. This is why they're pushing transsexualism, because they want to take the man out of his role as the head of the household. They want women out of their role as a helpmeet, and they want to put the woman on top. It's an evil plot and plan of Satan. I'm not sure how much of the other thing I said got erased, but hopefully not too much. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that. I won't keep you long. Uh, please like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. This is Red Film Diaries. Goodbye.